Do you struggle at PvP? Always getting killed? Feel like you can never truly help your alliance out? Then this is the perfect video for you. Today we'll go over 3 tips to help you feel more useful in your PvP experience. Have you ever been in that awkward spot where everyone is yelling at you to help fix that wall or door? Maybe you're out of repair kits. Maybe you just can't be bothered to help. We don't judge. Well, look no further. This first tip is for you. See, let's look at this wall here. You can see that it's partially damaged and will work well for our showing off our first tip. Now this is what actually repairing the wall looks like. Tedious and boring. Now, let's look at some alternative options. Number 1, the classic crouch into stealth. This technique when mastered is the easiest and laziest way to feel like you're part of the team. What a hero! The biggest drawback to the crouch technique is twofold. 1, timing can be off, and you'll see here, if pressed too fast, you'll look like a meth-infused Oompa Loompa. And secondly is the hand placements. Any grizzled, eagle-eyed PvP vet will be able to spot you a mile away with your hands all dangling down and such, and then your cover's blown. So what can you do to take this technique to the next level, you may ask? We're going to break it down into 2 tiers beyond the regular crouch. The next tier of the crouch technique involves a quick visit to your options menu. You'll want to work your way down to social, then emotes, and what we're looking for here is a section called physical. You should see an option for crouch. Go ahead and hotbar that. Make sure not just to slot it in your regular emotes section, but put it on your active bar. This creates less suspicion into why you're taking 13 minutes in between each repair frantically searching for where that emote went. As you can see, it creates a more natural crouching motion, similar to an actual repair kit. Now, to create the most natural motion, you want to let yourself go fully into the crouch emote, and then simply pull your weapon back out, and repeat. I know who I want to go into battle with. But Tenn, doesn't me pulling out my weapon in between repairs look kinda fishy? How observant of you, viewer. That brings us to the most advanced version of this technique. What you're gonna want to do is get rid of your weapons altogether. Now this may be uncomfortable for you at first, and you can start out by losing just one of your weapons until you're more comfortable. But we have found in our extensive research that you still have a 50% chance to be on the wrong bar and look like a buffoon. As you can see here, this creates a much more natural transition from crouching to hitting that attack button, only momentarily bringing out your fists. Repeating the process in a calm, controlled manner. Better make some room for that new imp title. Now, if you struggle with the crouch technique, there is one more option that requires a little bit more acting on your part. As you can see, we have all this space for other helpful emotes. Go ahead, go into your menu again, find that emotes section, and go down until you see props. You should see an option for hammer, kneel. Slot that as well. Now, placement is everything here. If people see you hammering the air, they're going to know something is up. So you want to make sure you're right near the wall, facing towards the wall, before using the emote. If done perfectly, you'll be the envy of your group, with that fancy new wall repair animation that ZeniMax only gave you. Now on to our next tip for the day. Have you ever needed to use the bathroom? Maybe you wanted to cook a lasagna, but you're right in the middle of an intense battle in PvP. We've all been there, and no one should have to be subject to those pesky guards' judgmental stares of silence. You could go hide in a corner out of sight, but why should you have to change your life just because you got too invested in Paw Patrol last time you visited your nephews, and now you're smack dab in the middle of a rabbit hole binging clip after clip? What are those sly little heroes getting into next? So what you want to do is once again find the emotes, which are your best friend when trying to fill in the gaps between optics and actual skills. And look for both read letter and broken hearted. First, pull out the letter and give just a few moments to sell the reading part. Then immediately go right into broken hearted. Now, everyone will go out of their way to try and not stare at you, and they sure aren't going to be rushing you out to battle anytime soon. Who said you didn't have time for that 100-piece puzzle? And for our last tip today, have you ever found yourself alone in a keep, minding your own business? Then boom, looks like a chunk of the old Kmart comes flying right past you. The Zerg's here. Look no further. We'll help take you from trembling coward to regular coward in no time. What you want to do first is slot the Begone emote. Using this lets them know in a non-violent way that they are not welcome in this keep. They can leave a pamphlet, but you've established clear boundaries and, more importantly, clear evidence for bringing trespassing charges later if they choose to continue. However, if they choose to continue with this unwarranted aggression, I've seen many people mess this next step up. You might be tempted to post in zone chat that your keep is under attack. However, this signals weakness to the rest of your alliance, and there's only room for one alpha in this campaign. You want to make sure you always carry your emergency dazzler, not to be confused with our emergency bedazzler, and make sure you have it slotted. A well-timed dazzler will alert anyone within 15 meters of the urgency of the situation you're in. From that point, you've done all you can, and it's time for the rest of your alliance to step up. Our bonus tip of the day is remember, rest is just as important as combat. And when I've had a long, stressful day, I like to unwind at my favorite picnic spot. Peter here learned a valuable lesson. You always hear about love triangles, but never squares. Don't be a square. There you have it. Follow these tips and you'll be well on your way from hapless noob to imp god in no time. Good luck and Godspeed.